And well, Donald Trump and his senior advisors can't seem to agree on one specific question. What was the need to take out Qasem Soleimani at that point in time? What was the urgency behind the operation? Well, there are many versions coming out of Washington as of now. Let's start with the president's version. In his latest tweet, Trump has said that it doesn't really matter if the threat from Soleimani was imminent or not. According to him, Soleimani's past justified the U.S. action anyway. But just last week, Trump said something completely different. He said that an attack was imminent on 4 U.S. embassies in the region, prompting him to take immediate action against Soleimani. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper admitted, however, that he was unaware of any threat to U.S. embassies in the region, and that too 4 specific ones. Esper defended the president by saying Trump was probably talking about threats to U.S. assets in general. But Trump is sticking to his initial theory. When asked about the threat to 4 embassies, Trump replied that the intelligence reports were totally consistent.
Well, first of all, I think it's been totally consistent. But here's what's been consistent. We killed Soleimani, the #1 terrorist in the world by every account. Bad person, killed a lot of Americans, killed a lot of people. We killed him. And when the Democrats try and defend him, it's a disgrace to our country. They can't do that. And let me tell you, it's not working politically very well for them. So we killed the #1 terrorist in the world, Soleimani, and it should have been done 20 years ago. We'll see you at the game. Thank you.
And well, the president has also found a supporter in U.S. Attorney General William Barr. Barr called Soleimani a legitimate target and said the U.S. operation in Baghdad was an act of self-defense.
The general in charge of these efforts, Soleimani, was clearly a legitimate military target, and we had a brief window of time to carry out the attack when he arrived in Baghdad to plan and orchestrate follow-up attacks on American interests and American people, personnel. So this was a legitimate act of self-defense because it disrupted ongoing attacks that were being conducted, a campaign against the Americans.
Well, the biggest fallout from the operation has been the change in the attitude of the Iraqi government. The Prime Minister and the Parliament have both demanded the expulsion of U.S. troops from Iraq, but Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has presented a different version. Pompeo says that many Iraqi leaders, in fact, support American presence in the country but are afraid to say so publicly.
But I've probably had 50 phone calls with various Iraqis over just these past 10 days. Sunni leaders, Kurdish leaders, Shia leaders from a broad spectrum of the Shia community as well. They won't all say so publicly, but privately they all welcome the fact that America is still there executing its counter-terror campaign, making sure that Daesh, ISIS doesn't re-emerge in theater, and providing an opportunity for the Iraqis to gain the sovereignty and independence that most Iraqis want.